Okay, guys, Eric here with you again. Now, getting into the process of finishing and staining the Green Man puzzle that I showed you guys in the previous video. Now, taking apart the puzzle because I'm going to be using several different stains to get the different colors for how I want this to look. Now, the top and bottom leaves, along with the eyebrows here and the mustache, are all going to be a dark ivy slash forest green so that they really stand out against the lighter colors that I'm going to be using. I have a light green, one of my father's homemade food coloring stain that's going to be used on these leaves here and more than likely on these two large bottom leaves. The rest are going to be stained with various shades of brown or oak colors, just for nice contrast so you can see the different pieces and not so dark a stain that the detail's completely lost. So right now I'm just hand sanding all the pieces. Bring you guys over here. We have several different sanding blocks of different grits. I always start off with a 120, go to a 220, and if it's absolutely necessary, I have a 320 that's ready to go. Now, in some extreme cases, we do even go up to a 400 grit paper, but I won't be doing it on this project. And if you were dealing with extremely rough wood, we have as small as an 80. But again, this wood was pretty nice when I got it from Lowe's, so the 120 to 320 will probably be the range that I'll be sanding in. Once I get everything sanded, then I'm going to be going to the three different stains that I'm going to be using so far, and possibly a fourth color which I haven't decided on yet. Once the staining is done, then what I'll do is leave them on the rack to dry for a day or so, make sure it gets soaked into the wood. I'm very happy. And once that's done, then I'll start doing the clear coating so that the finish is more durable. Since this is a puzzle, it's going to be handled quite a bit. So I want to make sure that these pieces can hold up to it. Plus, the clear coat also keeps the stain, which is capable several days after you apply it of staining other things, including fingers. Let's get the process started. I'll finish up on the sanding on these pieces and be right back. Now, the sanding on these smaller pieces is a little tricky because if you can, I'm not sure if you can tell, but the grain is going this way. It's going clear across these eyebrows, so you have to be really gentle when you sand with the grain not to take any of the corners down too much on the piece. So I'm just using a very light pressure. Oops, and what did I do? I accidentally went across the grain. So you got to be careful with these pieces. They are very delicate. So all I have to do is eyebrows and the mustache. Alrighty then. Okay, sanding is done on all 5 of these pieces. So what I'm going to do is be using this ivy green stain here to cover the pieces. Now, since it's an acrylic based stain, it's actually water soluble, so it washes off. Always a nice feature I've found. Now, right off the bat, what I'm noticing is this stain tends to act more like a paint until it starts absorbing into the woods. Get a good coating on the top surface, and then treat it like other stains I've used and see what happens when you just wipe it right off. I haven't used an acrylic stain before, so this is new territory for me, so you guys are sharing this experience with me. Well, it's not quite as dark a green as I thought it would be, which is perfectly fine. I didn't want it to be an almost black green. That would just give this puzzle a completely wrong look. I'm going to be staining the entire piece on every piece, so that when they take it apart, they don't just see bare wood staring them in the face, and it looks like a half-assed job of mine. Yeah, this definitely does act like a paint a lot more than a stain when you're applying it, so you have to get in there and make sure you actually cover the surfaces, because it doesn't seem to hit the wood grain and spread like a traditional stain. And you are going to get your fingers dirty. That's just that's just the nature of the beast here. So you got two more surfaces covered. Do a quick wipe off. Now these inside surfaces that are being covered are end grain, so they're going to just suck this stuff up like a sponge. So you won't have a whole lot to wipe off in here, but it's always good to get the extra bits if you can. Also, be careful with how aggressively you wipe this off with paper towels, because you might leave paper towel fibers all over your piece. Alright then, one eyebrow done completely, and dab off the excess here. Yep, one eyebrow completely done, and we're off to the races. And also make sure you've covered all your wood, because any spot that didn't get any stain is going to stick out like a sore thumb. Now, one thing I'm noticing with this water-based acrylic stain is you do have to go back over some areas every here and there after they've had a chance to absorb in a little bit, because some spots of the wood and grains of the wood will absorb it better than others, and if you want an even color and not a splotchy finish, you just got to get back in there and make sure you have even color saturation. It's not difficult to deal with, it's just something I've noticed using this stuff. Okay, so all the pieces are stained. It's going to be a lot more colorful than I thought it was, because this green came out a lot brighter than I thought it would. But that's a good thing. I'm actually having two colors of green on this green man, so it's kind of fitting. But I'll let this dry for at least overnight, if not all day tomorrow. And no, that means I gotta find somewhere in the shop to put it down that it's out of my father's way, because we both use the same shop. And as of now, I'm taking up a third of his workbench. So, anyways, all that aside, I will let this dry till it's not going to stain. Each color is not going to stain the other one, and I will show you the assembled project before I clear it. So all these dull colors will actually come to life with a little bit of shine. And there we go. That's the Green Man puzzle without being cleared, so you can at least see why I chose all the strange colors that I chose. Gives the puzzle a lot more definition over the solid color that it was. Now, unfortunately, you cannot see the wood grain as well as I thought you would, but that's no problem. The color makes up for it. I'll cut it here and give it a good chance to dry so that I can go ahead and clear it tomorrow. Okay. Well, let's see. I put some clear on it, and there's a loud fan on the floor blowing fumes around. I'm going to kill that so you can hear what the heck I'm saying. Now, I've already done 2-3 coats of clear on the front side of these pieces, and they're now on their second coat of clear on the back side. Now, I hand sanded the pieces between coats of clear. Now, they're dry. They're not even tacky. So you can see they have a nice shine now, and the wood grain is a little bit easier to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera aside for a second and assemble this guy so you can see him in his clear-coated glory. Ta-da! All clear-coated and shiny and happy, and you can actually see the wood grain in the pieces a little better than I thought you were going to be able to. The clear coat really helped with that. And you can see where I need to do a little bit more hand sanding right around this part of the leaf here to go in with some 400 grit and even up that clear coat. So that piece needs a little bit more work, but other than that, the rest of the piece is done. Thank you for following me on this project, and see, I kept my promise. I kept the 2 pieces of the video back to back. And that's probably what I'm going to have to do from now on, but it's really hard for me to put an entire project in one video without giving you guys an hour and a half video to watch all the different steps of the process. Doing the best I can for you, and I appreciate your subscriptions, and please feel free to leave comments, suggestions, or projects you'd like me to take on for you. And I'll see what I can get done. Alright guys? Hey guys, next project coming down the pipe is going to be my third and final puzzle for a while till I sell the other two off. It's going to be some 1/2-inch old cedar board that I've sanded away some of the gray patina to show that beautiful caramel cedar wood behind it. And yep, more old fence board turned into something else. So, more to come, guys.